Welcome back. We to preview Saturday's Premier League match between Stoke City and Hull at the Britannia. Pascal, let's start with the home side. Into match back of a good 2-1 win last time out.
Yeah, I think it was obviously going to Villa, who terribly out of form. Stoke obviously won that game 2-1, and that was Villa's sixth defeat in a row. So Villa, it was a game that Stoke really fancied winning against the Villa side. I don't think they've won since early December when they beat Leicester. So Stoke went there, but there was the Sherwood factor, wasn't there? It was Sherwood's first game in charge of Villa, so there was always that. And I think that sort of doesn't throw form out of the window, but it definitely gives Villa a lift, even though it's obviously the same set of players. But with a new manager in charge, Sherwood obviously been there. He'd watched them. He'd been watching them a bit and had a good run of spell of time to sort of work with them and try and gear them up for the Stoke game. But Stoke went there and won, and it just shows how decent they've been this season. That is a tough challenge going to Villa under a new manager, but they went there, 1-2-1. Obviously, last minute penalty from Victor Moses, and they did well. Especially as they fell behind. With the Sherwood factor there, Villa going front midway through the first half, and that sort of lifts Villa apart quite a lot. But they did well. Obviously, got the equaliser just before half time. Juve, who's been a really key player for them this season, scored a lot of key goals, and then they obviously win the penalty in the 93rd minute, I think it was, and it was a clear penalty. No arguments from the Villa camp at all. I don't know what Ron Villar was thinking sliding in like that, but Victor Moses, obviously John Walters was on the pitch. He's usually their penalty taker, but Moses obviously stepped up. Walters has missed a few penalties. Moses steps up, sticks it away, and another 3 points for Stoke. Still in the top half, and it's been a really good season for them.
You mentioned it's been a good season. I think that Villa game was really important to win, though, because they get into the match back to back 4-1 defeats. Lost to Blackburn in the FA Cup and lost to City, didn't they? They equalised against City after going 1 down, and they got played off the park in that one, which was disappointing. Look at their home form; it's not been too good this season. I mean, they've won 5 times, but they've lost 5 as well. I think you always think of Stoke, you attribute them with good form at home, don't you? They always do well against the bigger sides, but they've been bits and bobs away. Away from home, been a little bit better, and you think in the back at home, obviously against Hull, and they'll be expected to win that. I think Ryan Shawcross is out, so they've got a little bit of problems at the back, but they'll certainly be expecting to win this game.
Definitely. I mentioned them being the top half. They're 10th in the table, obviously 14 points clear of the drop zone. There's no danger of them going down. They're a solid team under Mark Hughes. And when you think about West Ham, everyone's saying how good they've done under Sam Allardyce this season and having outside chances of pushing, for the top 6, top 7, and maybe if they have a ridiculous end to the season, maybe even pushing for the top 4. But that doesn't look likely with the others. But Stoke, they're only 3 points behind West Ham, so that just shows how good a job Mark Hughes has done with that team. And you mentioned their home form not being as good, but their away form has been really good. They've got a better away record than Man U, and the only teams with a better away record are City, Chelsea, Southampton, Liverpool, Arsenal, and Spurs. So, they've been really good away from home, which is different from seasons gone by. In the last few seasons under Tony Pulis, Stoke were known for the Britannia Stadium, always known as a tough place to go, and their home form being really good. But this season, they've not been as good at home, but they've improved their away form. So then Mark Hughes will look at that at the end of the season and think, right, we just need to balance it out, and then you can sort of push for the top 7 next season, maybe.
Yeah, definitely moving on to the away side. They had to the match back of a good 2-1 win last time out as well against QPR at home. And I think that's such an important game to win, doesn't it? QPR obviously they ended their terrible away run, a couple of weeks ago at Sunderland, but to go into that game it was 1-1. I think Joey Barton getting sent off was a turning point, wasn't it? Obviously it was a strange incident to say the least. He sort of flicked Tom Huddlestone, and it's a red card. It's stupid. It's silly to do that sort of thing. But I think if Hull didn't win that game, it'd have been a big deal, wouldn't it? Because playing over an hour against a QPR side, they've been poor away from home. And another major point was the Ndoye as well, getting his goal late on. It's 2-2 for him now. I think we mentioned a couple of weeks ago, he had a good record in Russian football, and he's come in. We wasn't really linked with anyone else, was he? They got the deal done late on. They got the extension in the January window, so to bring him in, and it hasn't really worked out for Abel Hernandez. He came in, he's been big money signing, didn't really work. Jelic started to score some goals again, scored in the QPR game. So back-to-back wins now, and things looking up for Steve Bruce.
Yes, unbeaten in 3 league games as well. And you mentioned the back-to-back wins at home. They were at home to Aston Villa and QPR. Obviously, games against 2 of the sides below them in the table. So they're games they should win, and they have won. So they've done well to pull through those. And the game before that was the 1-1 draw at Man City, which is James Milner's injury time free kick that rescued a point there. So it could have easily been 3 wins in a row. And obviously, Steve Bruce just turning the corner there because. At one stage, they were in the bottom 3. They looked like Bruce might be on his way. He was obviously really linked heavily with the Fulham job at one point, which is a bit weird. But obviously, they're up to 15th in the table now, 4 points clear of the bottom 3. So things are looking up for them. And obviously, they've had Aston Villa and QPR, won those 2 games. And now they've got Stoke here. Then they host Sunderland and then go to Leicester. So the next 3 games, very winnable as well, especially considering they're definitely they're the form side in the bottom sort of 6-7 at the moment. So I think that you back them to win maybe 2 of these next 3 games.
I think Hull will want to put points on the board as well. I think that 3 of the last 4 they play Arsenal, Spurs, United, so they will not want to be going into the final 5 games thinking, we need to pick up 6 points maybe. So that's important. You see him get anything from this game?
I'm actually going to back Stoke here. I think Hull, even though they've been doing a lot better lately, obviously I said 3 unbeaten. I just think Stoke, they might just prove a bit too strong at home. We said their home form wasn't great, but I think Hull, they might just run out of steam a bit here. It's 2 wins in a row, but I can't see them winning 3 in a row, so I'm going to go for a 2-1 Stoke win.
2-1 win. I'm actually going to back Hull to get something from this game. I think players like Tom Huddleston and Livermore start to play a bit better. Obviously, they had spells out of the team, so I'm going to back them to get a point in a 1-1. Got one home win and a 1-1 draw. Thanks for joining us.